Is this the most beautiful lake in the world? I mean, I've seen a lot of lakes. I'm from Michigan, so trust me, I know lakes. And both my cousin and I expected Lake Tahoe to be beautiful, but maybe not this beautiful. Lake Tahoe absolutely stunned us. We just traveled over 450 miles from Crescent City, California to get here. You know, crossing mountain passes and winding roads, and every mile was worth it. Lake Tahoe absolutely stunned us. I mean, just look at the snow-capped peaks behind, the massive granite boulders along the shoreline, and that clear, almost glassy water. It was absolutely beautiful. And the air had that crisp, clean, high altitude feel. And there was just enough sun to keep it perfectly comfortable. It wasn't just beautiful to look at, it felt amazing to be here. Honestly, it might be the most beautiful lake we've ever seen. Lake Tahoe straddles the border between California and Nevada, and it's huge. It's over 1,600 feet deep, making it the second deepest lake in the United States. And Lake Tahoe, because of that depth and constant movement, it never freezes, even in the dead of winter. And here's a fun fact. Lake Tahoe holds enough water to cover the entire state of California in 14 inches of water. It's a geological wonder and looks every bit like it belongs in a national park. But here's the twist. Lake Tahoe isn't actually a national park. We know it sure looks like one. Instead, it's protected through a patchwork of public lands managed by the U.S. Forest Service, the states of California and Nevada, and several regional state parks. Places like Emerald Bay State Park, D.L. Bliss, and Desolation Wilderness help preserve this incredible region. Emerald Bay was even declared a National Natural Landmark in 1969. Well, and let's not forget, Lake Tahoe is also the playground for the rich and famous. Celebrities, CEOs, and tech moguls have vacation homes here. In fact, Mark Zuckerberg reportedly owns a $59 million compound on the lake. But thankfully, you don't need $1 million budget to enjoy these views. And it's not just for looking at either. Tahoe is full of life. We saw paddle boarders gliding across the water, swimmers along the shore, and boats cruising across the lake. That said, one downside is that a lot of the shoreline is lined with private estates. So while the scenery is stunning, we did find there weren't quite as many easy, accessible public lakefront areas as we would have liked. And while we visited during the warmer months, Tahoe is a year-round destination. In winter, the area transforms into a snowy paradise for skiers and snowboarders. It's truly a place that offers something for everyone. One of the most iconic spots is Emerald Bay, home to breathtaking views and a hidden gem, Vikingsholm. It was built in 1929 by Lora Josephine Knight, a philanthropist inspired by her travels to Scandinavia. Unfortunately, though, Vikingsholm was under construction during our visit, so we couldn't tour inside, but we did hike halfway down the trail just to catch a glimpse, and even from a distance, it was worth the effort. And you see that little island just offshore? That is Lake Tahoe's only island. And there's a stone structure which we couldn't see, but it's a tea house built by Lora Knight herself. We stayed in South Lake Tahoe at the Blackjack Inn, and we're honestly really happy with our accommodations. We only paid a little over $114 for 2 nights. That's right, only 70-something a night. An incredible value for such prime location. It was affordable, convenient, and close to everything. And despite expecting a flashy, upscale vibe because of the area's reputation, we were pleasantly surprised. The town itself had a fun, easygoing vibe. There were plenty of shops, and surprisingly, many had reasonably priced goods, not just tourist trap prices. Several restaurants and venues featured outdoor performers and live music, adding to the charm. And yes, there were a few casinos nearby too. It was much more affordable than I thought, and we really enjoyed our trek along the town. And we had dinner at a nearby Mexican restaurant that really hit the spot and wrapped up a perfect day on the lake. Next day, well, then came Vegas. And let's just say it was a bit of a mood shift. Where Lake Tahoe was peaceful and majestic, Vegas is always bold, buzzing, and chaotic. Bright lights and shoulder-to-shoulder crowds. We stayed overnight in Las Vegas. We were comped a free room because our flight home was scheduled for the next morning. It gave us one last burst of entertainment and a moment to unwind after the incredible natural beauty we had experienced for the last week. And before we even left, we were already dreaming up our next trip for 2026. An adventure to explore the scenic, remote, and ruggedly wild Isle Royale in Michigan's Upper Peninsula. It's one of the least visited national parks in the country. And it's not because it isn't spectacular, but because it's so isolated. It's accessible only by boat or seaplane. Well, this wraps up our California National Park trek, and what a journey it's been. From the towering Sequoias in Kings Canyon to the landscapes of Yosemite, and of course, the desert landscape of Death Valley, and now the unexpected beauty of Lake Tahoe. If you missed any of these stops, check out the full playlist link below. Have you been to Lake Tahoe? Did it surprise you like it did us? We thought we've seen beautiful lakes, but Tahoe completely changed the game. Tell us your favorite spot around the lake or what you'd love to see if you've never been here. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more travel adventures. And remember, adventure awaits. Thank you.